stuff. Things are happening, but nobody's explaining, right?
Yeah, you'd have no exposition. In fact, Star Wars was really good about that. What the fuck's a Bothan? You didn't know after watching that episode.
They got
It's just
mentioned once as
many
Bothans
Bothans died. You know that they're on the good team, and like there's a whole.
They sound like spies.
They sound like spies.
Because they're called Bothan spies.
Exactly.
So they make a spy.
It's like, wow, okay, cool. There's like depth here. We don't need a whole backstory and side quest and half an hour of exposition. Anyways, speaking of exposition, well, I'll let you guys finish doing your intro. So Star Wars.
I was just here Saturday. I'm good.
Give us something, Mark. What'd you do today?
Let's see, I woke up.
Yeah.
I woke up and there was like frozen. There was hail coming down, hitting the window, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a nice sound." So I went back to sleep and I did that 3 times. 3 times.
You got up, you're like, "Nope."
So my wife came up and said, "Are you ready to get up yet?" And I'm like, "What time is it?" And she's like, "It's 1:30." I'm like, "Okay."
Because there was only one possible answer to that question. There was only one good answer.
Box yourself into a corner. What was that question? What time is it?
Exactly.
It's time for you to get up.
I remember distinctly being the parent of teenagers going, "Come on, it's freaking 11:30. It's time to get up. We gotta get your day going." Now that they're gone, it's like it's like, fuck chores. I'll do them tomorrow. It's like...
that sounds like my every weekend. Adam, what's going on with you?
The New Year's crowd is in the gym, so it's really busy in there. And then my body on this day, it's a little bit confused about what I've been putting in it because I've just been putting random crap into my system. It decided to have a hard time keeping the blood inside my face. So I had like 3 nosebleeds today so far, including at the gym, which are always the worst. And they're kind of frequent there these days. But yeah, so if I run away by clenching my face and like, don't look at my horrible, don't look at my shame. That's because my body just randomly decided to. You've got too many red blood cells. Let's get rid of something.
All right, Ahmed said he'd join in a bit. He's asking about level 12. You guys didn't level to 12 yet.
We didn't rest.
You have enough XP for 12th level, but you haven't rested. You decided to. You haven't rested. You decided to stick your heads into the Grand Bhaali Circus.
I just go, what's going on here?
Like the best case scenario for us resting is like 6 hours before we're back.
This particular episode is called "Beauty is Not the Beholder." Oh no, that was last episode. Beauty is not the beholder. The heroes return to the Temple of Elemental Evil and make a hit-and-run attack on the new guards posted at the entrance to the Greater Temple, including a Dread Eye Tyrant. In response to the attack, the Archmage of the Temple casts a Mighty Wish spell upon Alkur. The heroes then turned their attention to setting things right in the Grand Bhaali Circus.
Yeah, we might not have thought this through because we don't know how the hell we're not allowed to be violent, and right now we've only got one solution, which is violence. So
well, the if there's no like Slenderman.
Well, why don't you guys go and figure out what's going on, and then you can make your deal. So as you are disguised as a different werewolf for Shadow and a troll hound for Max, and as gnolls in Greater Temple garb for everyone else, you travel to the gateway, which is inside of a massive wagon. And you kind of walk up the steps to the wagon through the purple portal and find yourselves once again in the carnival. The carnival definitely looks different at this point in time. There are some tents that look like they have caught fire and the fires have burned out, but there's obvious disarray here. There are a lot of tracks that go to and fro, not a lot of crowds. In fact, you can only see a few groups of people. There are a couple of the Grand Bhaali clowns over by the tent of swine. They seem to be standing up front like they're guarding. And there are 4 of them over by the clock tower and where you exchange money for chits. You can see that there is some commotion at the main big top tent. There are like a few arrows in the ground and broken weapons that are kind of scattered in the main thoroughfare. Things look empty and a little bit grim. You find actually like a tipped over bag of chits, like near the entrance.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are there any gold chits in that bag?
There are no gold chits in the bag, but you could pick up I don't know, close to 100 wooden or the ceramic chits if you wanted.
No.
I got a feeling they're not cashing those out anymore.
You don't hear music. You don't hear crowds or oohs or ahs, but you do hear some sort of roaring and maybe the sound of an elephant coming from the big top. There are what look like 4 prisoner wagons that have people inside of them just outside the big top tent. Oh, and on the main on one of the main stages, you can see that there are people that have been piked.
Nice.
Bodies.
Nice
There are
see.
4 bodies dangling from the cage. One is still wearing a top hat. One looks like part man, part leopard. Another one looks like a really skinny elf. The other one looks like they tried to pike him, but his charred body kind of burned the pike and part of the stage. And there's just a simple large body that looks like it was just sort of deposited on the main stage.
Well, this is pretty fucked.
Given your perception checks, there may be a little bit of movement coming from deep within the Circus Bazaar. Like you might have caught like a shadow of somebody looking, as there is a flash from the portal when it opens. Similar, there may be some movement, as you saw some people running between tents somewhere kind of north of the midway. Like people kind of running around, trying to keep out of view or trying to see what's going on. You do hear strange sounds coming from the tent of swine, and there is a cook fire that is going.
Alright, well, you fucking left foot, right foot, try to blend in.
Do those prisoner wagons have horses attached?
Nope.
Shit.
They use trolls, giants, and stuff to push me around.
You notice that the clowns are starting to walk over.
Gonna start walking towards the tent of swine.
Yep, that's where we're going.
Okay.
I don't know what our move speed is versus their move speed. Just,
Okay, there's a whistle when it's obvious that you're kind of avoiding them, and 2 clowns come out this way, and they start kind of circling around all of you.
Can you fake no by any chance?
Hail, greater temple! One of them says. It does this really, like, over-the-top bow.
hail.
We're not ready for the next batch of prisoners.
One of them fucking laughing at you for no reason.
Not ready yet.
No,
Hold up.
the twisting is erratic.
It can't be predicted.
That's what I just said.
Couple of them come tumbling in. The one that's talking is this one right here.
Yeah, you better not be fucking around. Are you gonna be volunteered?
Fucking around? No.
No, no, no.
No. We're exempt.
Yeah, we're exempt. You better not be fucking around, or you might end up in the. Where are they taking them?
Who cares? We're the lords here now.
Krieger pulls out his hammer.
Oh, what's that one gonna do with the hammer?
Yeah, what you gonna do with the hammer?
Okay, that's fine. Who said that?
This guy's talking. This is the dumb one or the dumb sounding
The dumb one.
Yep.
Walks over to him, shows him the hammer, and punches him in the face.
It's a nice hat. Hey! It's almost like he didn't expect you to strike him.
And so it begins.
Well, he just punched a clown, so... Who hasn't wanted to punch a clown?
Who hasn't, really?
Ah, funny.
I gotta actually check what my unarmed strike is, because it's not the same as my hammer. I might have wraps. That's the only thing.
You have one. They'd be one less because you have wraps.
Yeah, I do have wraps. Okay, so 21. 28. That's probably not a crit.
Fucking figure out stats for a goddamn clown.
One hit die, like...
Charming scoundrel. Sounds good. CR
Sure.
blah creature, blah blah, AC 21.
So not a crit.
Wham! You just sort of you punch him in the nose. Ah! He goes tumbling down. Give me damage.
7 for 11.
Okay, he goes tumbling backward. I don't know if you're continuing to punch him in the face.
Nope, he lets
Okay.
him go tumbling backwards.
Oh!
Hammer.
He falls down to his ground. Hey, he punched me. He's gonna get the twisting for sure.
Twisting. All hail twisting.
They're kind of dancing around Krieger now. They don't move to defend themselves. The clown's just sort of on the ground. He picks up his nose and puts it back on. And
I think we just walked past them.
Yep.
okay, give me your deception check. You acted like temple guards.
Did exactly what-
Krieger has to either lead or aid.
I will aid.
Alright. Good man. Deception. Experimenting. Fox, I don't know if you've caught, but Mark's version of experimentation is very blunt sometimes.
I don't know if I ate or not in this this version still. I still have not figured out aid.
28 is the no, sorry, 18 is the DC.
I failed to aid. But
No,
critically.
18 would be the DC.
He aided.
You aided because the DC is 8, so you actually did aid.
Okay.
And 25.
25? Okay. Yeah, they think your gnolls are temple guards or whatever, and they do part. They're mocking Krieger that he's gonna get the twisting, and they're tumbling away and getting back after you. That one you punch is just sitting there holding his nose. You want to mark at the top of your character sheet that you've got 1 round of hostile actions within the in the Grand Bhaali Circus.
Individual characters?
Yep,
Alright.
that was Krieger.
Yeah.
Could I get an Alkur? The blick.
Oh, did I not?
Oh, this is like old ass Alkur.
Yeah. You need to clear their statuses and conditions and.
Oh, I'll check my guys.
Because last time I was in here, it was all sorts of fuck up.
Alkur the Black, done. And do I have all the shadows? No, I need the dog shadow.
They'll be ready when they're ready.
Says one of them, like kind of as you're walking by. You catch a look into the tent of swine, and there's something wrong with this ogre. This ogre, it looks like he's sitting. You can see his feet, but he's bulked up like a balloon, and the rolls of skin and fat are kind of coming down in a cone around him, and he's too big to probably even stand up at this point in time. You notice that...
Are you talking about the gargantuan or the thing that is...
This guy.
Okay.
This guy seems to be outpacing the gargantuan, and the swinomancer looks like he's crawling on top of Isolde.
That thing could eat the gargantuan.
Yeah, and is like tossing pies into his mouth. He's like, more food, more food, and the three of them are all lying down, and looks like in the process of engorging themselves to death.
First off, I'm sure we were introduced to him before, but I just want to say a swinomancer is probably one of the coolest things I've ever heard in a while. And I saw Baby Yoda this weekend, and that's one of the coolest things.
The swinomancer?
The swinomancer.
That's right. You're not done eating yet.
Oh, don't forget me! It is gluttony meets.
Is there a charm going on?
You pause for a moment, and you notice that a couple of the clowns that came over that were guarding that area are kind of like mocking you as you're walking forward.
Alkur is going to cast a detect magic, but he's going to extend the range of it by 30 feet because.
There is magic within the...
What is the source of the highest level circle of magic in the 5-foot cube? Within a 60-foot Shibusa.
Yeah, go ahead. The source of the magic, do you just automatically know, or do you get to make
I know the I know... My book should be used to hold my plate, because I can't do things. This order of operations is all sorts of confused. Detect magic, where it's kind of useless at a fourth circle detect magic, you automatically learn the highest level effect, and you pinpoint the source of the highest level magic. And you can narrow it down, like in imprecise sense, you don't learn the exact location, but you can narrow it down to a 5-foot cube.
Okay, there is a a very powerful. You automatically know.
Yeah, it's.
There's a very powerful enchantment effect on Isolde, like a compulsion. He doesn't look like he wants to continue eating, but he still is. The others just might be naturally gluttonous and...
Who casts the compulsion? the least Knowlish sounding shit. Who cast the compulsion on the large one?
Said no Knoll ever.
You did! We did! We all like to eat!
This is one of the clowns.
Swinomancer, isn't he a treat?
Very good. Kurt just walked back to the group.
The two clowns.
We're done here.
The two clowns are looking at each other. They're a little bit confused. You can hear the trumpet of an elephant, and you can see some clowns taunting prisoners. Some of the Skura and the mongrel folk look like they're in prisoner wagons.
The large one is under the effect of a compulsion. Most likely a compulsion to eat.
Eat everything.
Medicine check?
He's going to die from eating.
Well, yes, but is it a foregone conclusion at this point, or is this something that is reversible?
It's simply, like, you've only been gone for... You don't know how long he's been at this, but To achieve that size, he would have had to been at this for almost like half a lifetime. He wasn't like this
Last time we saw him, he was
a couple weeks ago.
Big.
So
Yeah.
he's probably both the victim of an enchantment and the twisting.
Yeah, there is something not possible going on with his anatomy right now. Naturally, anyways. Which they seem to be feeding. He then pukes into a barrel, but then he then, after puking into the barrel, just sort of drinks it all back down.
That is awful.
I want to behave like that.
The gargantuan looks like he's a happy as pig in shit, just covered in food, naked, but somehow still G because of all the rolls. Can't see anything. PG.
Not G. That's good. That's great.
And he just claps when the puking happens, and he continues to eat, perhaps at a more normal rate for a very large fat person. Fat ogre, I guess. Ogres are large. He told me, he's like, just gawking.
I suppose we're taking inventory. We're going to continue because we're probably in a situation where we can't save everyone.
Yep.
And
the clown. If you guys pause for a moment as you're waiting for Alkur, the clown comes up and squirts water from a flower at Krieger and then runs away.
Krieger punches him. And then says, "What are you gonna do? Twist me twice?"
All right, go ahead and try to punch the clown as he was trying to get back at you.
And I will add a round of. Oh, that's a critical, right?
Yeah,
there.
you critical hit the clown.
oh, the clown doesn't have a name. But you do non-lethal, so I think you just knock him out.
Probably,
unless you're taking a penalty to do lethal.
No, I'm not. So.
Is this all non-lethal damage?
It's all non-lethal, yeah. 18.
The unarmed strikes are automatically non-lethal.
Okay. Yeah, you send him reeling again. This time he doesn't just sit there. He while he falls down, he gets back up and he's running away. Okay. You want to change the thing at the top of your character sheet to 2 non-lethal attacks? 2 rounds worth of non-lethal actions?
Non-lethal? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's one of those, like, if you have the same penalty for hitting a guy in the face with the fist versus smashing him with a hammer, smash the clowns with a hammer. Just bubblegum them on the end of your hammer. Fucking things. All right.
Maybe. So far, just Krieger just looks like a Krieger. Well, he looks like a gnoll, a very big and scary looking gnoll.
We're going. Okay. We'll.
You notice that the large half-orc man with the great sword, he doesn't have it out. He just hops down from his perch and starts striding over. He whistles. Some of the clowns come over to back him up. What do you want? That's what he says.
Behind schedule.
No, we're not. You just got a cart. You ain't supposed to be here till tomorrow. You want to have a watch?
Oh, we're not going back without a cart.
I suppose we could stick those ones into that cart. You could have that cart. You're only getting 1, not 2.
We were told to bring 2.
Nah. Those ones, and he points to the back 2 carts, those ones ain't ready yet. They're scurra. Hard to get the twisting into them.
Alright, well, I'm supposed to bring 2. I don't want my head smashed by nothing.
Alright. Well, maybe what you could do is there are still some mongrel folk we've yet to round up. The more fucked up they look, the more twisted they are.
Alright.
Or you can take your chances. Yeah.
How do we round them up without getting twisted?
You could use ropes, nets. Just careful not to crack open their skulls. Or you'll find yourself in one of the carts.
He just walks away. Hello?
Hang on. Sorry, guys.
Oh man, how's it going?
Hello.
So there's little dingers that go over your head when you do violent things. There's little imaginary bing, so you don't hear the counters going up. Alright, which way?
Huh?
Which way to the holdouts?
I don't know, there's some of them that are still taking care of the animals. Go take them out.
You look into the tent and you can see these really deformed giants. They've got multiple limbs and they seem to be tugging on the ropes around an elephant. And you can see that there is a Skura woman that is tied up to a stump, and 2 Skura males that have like spears in their hands, and they look like they're trying to defend her, while these twisted giants seem to look like they're trying to force the elephant into melee with the Skura.
Huh.
There's a third twisted giant that you could see that's standing and watching this, and a bunch of the clowns look like they're clapping, and maybe they're the only 4 people in this entire tent that are clapping at the at what is going on.
All right. So far, we've got half orc with a thong on his head.
I don't know why I find that funny.
Something happened to his nose, dude.
It's my favorite Halloween costume. Trick or treat.
So Cabron goes over and just leans against his post. It looks like he has a jug of some sort of alcohol, you're guessing, and he's like drinking straight from the jug.
Yep. Does he have a man catcher or a sap or any kind of?
All around the wagon there are like there's some bolas, a net, some ropes, some manacles.
Okay.
Like it looks like nobody is really. They've all been used recently, or they're just around. You do find a man catcher.
All right. Oscar's gonna bump Krieger, and we're gonna just like grab a kind of excessively large quantity of their weapons.
And smash them.
Walk away from them.
Okay, you've got 3 pairs of manacles, 6 bolas, 3 nets, 2 man catchers.
Okay.
Hey!
He says when he sees you picking it.
Leave some of that stuff behind! We still gotta do our work here.
Oscar puts out one man catcher and then start walking away.
Oh, should break that man catcher.
The goal is to make it inconvenient for them to do their job.
Actually, what if you put little pins inside of them so that when they put them on people, they hurt them?
Okay. When you get to about here, you actually hear a growl and a hiss that is impossibly low and very seemingly coming from a very large creature. It is sibilant in its hiss, reptilian, and most likely.
I'm just checking to see what languages they speak. Is it Sylvan?
It is not Sylvan.
Well, I don't speak the other one, so Sylvan? Is it Infernal?
It is not infernal.
I would.
Is it High Imperial?
It's not in High Imperial.
I do not speak Draconic. Which it sounds like it's Draconic.
Whatever that was, it was big, says Ptolemy in a un-Knowlish voice.
Yes. We will need. Why do you have all the. Oh, all right. Okay, we're gonna start cruising around, looking for like.
Okay. Yeah, you do find some mongrel folk. They look like they are hiding. You also thought you saw some of the familiars that belong to the guy who made Ptolemy's homunculus. The mongrel folk seem to be hiding among some of the wagons. They shirk away from your approach.
Are you kidding me? Look at this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to get captured or anything, but these guys are just fucking lazy. This is not a hard job.
The elephant pen is obviously empty. You can see that that there are still critters inside some of these pens.
Okay. All right. The dog's burping beside me. It's like, stop burping them. All right. So, who wants to put on the kissy face and see if we can get him to talk to us?
I'll do it. Everyone loves me. All right, come on out. It's all right.
Okay, you notice that these two little familiars, like they look like little cats, hairless cats, go running away from you.
Look, we're not here to hurt you. Just come on, have a little chat. Come on.
Okay, you.
He's waiting to get eye contact with one, and he's going to intimidate one. Get out here now! Get the fuck out of here!
All right, you could see the hairless dog-like familiar kind of running this way, and the two mongrel folk went running around the back of this wagon.
All right, I see the lot of you back there. I want all of you to come out here right now. Now, I have group intimidation, quick intimidation, and lasting coercion.
So you as Darian the Knoll is intimidating these two mongrel folk to come out.
Yes. No. Every mongrel folk that can hear me. To a maximum of 10.
Okay. Give me your intimidate check.
I am a master of intimidation, only an expert in... Yes, I'm that kind of paladin.
Everybody loves me. Do it now, I'll beat your ass. Look at
Pretty much. Plus 21. $24 with that shit roll.
This is against their will DC.
Yeah.
Does it go up if there are more of them?
No, I don't believe so. I'll double check. Group coercion.
There you are.
Quick coercion. I can do it in a round. Here we go. You can. Okay, it's possible to have different degree of success for each target. The number of targets you can coerce in a single act includes just a 4. Yeah. So I can coerce 10 people, no penalty.
All right.
It uses the results vary depending on, like, if they're all the same, it's the same result, but if they're different levels, then the results will differ.
The Mongol folk begin to cluster around this corner here. They seem really uncertain. They talk quickly amongst themselves. They are coming out of their hiding spots, though.
See, they love me.
They do mob up a little bit. They are carrying weapons. They're not like pointing them at you, but they have them in hand. One of the Mongol folk kind of makes this weird ticking noise, and then
Great, Chipper! We serve! Please do not take us away, we serve!
and he looks back at the others.
We serve the new master of the carnival.
And just who the fuck is that?
He nervously makes a bunch of noises that you'd expect coming out of like half a dozen different animals.
Bunch of different holes.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is the master?
He says.
I like this one.
Yeah, I like it. You I like it. You live.
Put it this way, which one have you heard is in charge?
Oh, new carnival master is Professor.
Fuck that guy.
But, Professor, make a deal with Greater Temple.
Oh, did he now?
And Greater Temple bring dragon here.
All right, then. And where do we find... Where's the old master? Mistress.
Isolde? No, she's gone. We not see her since wizard battle.
I see. Fuck.
You.
So how many circus folk have turned against the old mistress?
We serve new master. We don't want to be taken away.
Well, then you best answer my questions, huh?
What a prick.
We serve temple.
He turns around and gives you like a dirty no look, like I'm fucking watching you.
We serve temple. Please don't take us away.
Pats him on the head.
Yeah.
Listen there, bud. I get that life is rough. You're literally made of spare parts. So
He smiles at that like that was a compliment.
Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna answer my questions, and then you're gonna go off and you're gonna hide. But you're gonna hide better than before, because you fucking suck at it, alright?
How long before the spell ends, Damien? Ptolemy, sorry.
Is Darian even trying to disguise himself as a gnoll at this point?
He's trying, but like he would fail so miserably.
I believe he's got a plus
+4 status bonus from the spell.
4.
Yeah.
So he would have, with his charisma, he would have an 8.
Okay, so give me a d20 roll.
D20. So not so well.
Not so much.
He's like still standing too tall to be an
Yeah,
old,
he's-
I guess. And
You're not with Temple?
I didn't say that.
Hey, chameleon.
And there's like a patch of skin, probably like, no longer than a foot long and a few inches wide, that changes color when he touches it.
Okay, there we go. That's enough of that.
Chameleon. Isolde gone. Great wizard battle. Sphinx is, stone. They take her sword away. They take her sword away.
What did they do with her sword?
They took it away.
Okay, so I guess what I was asking was where.
He points to the south where the portal was.
All right, then we know where to go for that.
All those who are taken to temple do not come back. They are making us fight, so
Right.
they get twisted. We mongrel folk born twisted, although they make new mongrel folk.
How are they making new Mongol folk?
The twisting!
Okay, so just because you get twisted, you're mongrel folk, is that your definition now? All right, then. Any more questions there, fellas? We don't get this show on the road.
Some of us still try to resist.
Yep, you keep doing that. Guys, anything? Come on.
Who all's resistant? Who's still
hiding?
Who's still good on this place?
He points to this tent, just to the south of you.
Okay.
And where is the one that made the deal?
There are some Skura that also...
I guess Bone Crusher is walking forward to ask questions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where is the one that made the deal? Who is in charge now?
You're kind of bombarding him with questions. He read him.
Professor is in pleasure tent where lady used to be. Nice tent, gold tent, silks, silver.
Where's the pleasure tent?
Lady tent.
Okay, that's not a direction.
He points. You've been there before.
You've been there.
Oh, okay.
It is near feeding tent. Although there are creatures that are eating all of our food. No.
Right. Yeah.
What about the fortune teller?
Maybe she's still safe. Some Skura ran away. They are on other side. In Skura Bazaar. She might still be alive. Who knows these things? Who knows?
Now, how do you fight without getting twisted?
You hide.
How fast does the twisting happen?
Fight. How do you fight?
You evade. You make fun and taunt. And,
What a miserable existence. Tell me, how fast does it happen, the twisting? If I was to strike my friend here, how long would it take before I start getting twisted?
twisting is death. Death. You must mean it. Violence, death, destruction.
So if you kill, then the twisting happens.
Yes,
If you do not kill, the twisting does not happen.
violence.
We're taking a step back now.
This will not get you twisting.
And he goes over and he thinks twice about hitting Darian, and he goes over to Bone Crusher. Just kind of whaps you in the knee.
But if I try to slit your throat and mean it, Twisting will come.
Appears that it's only if you intend to kill. What we
Death.
should do is not kill.
Twisting is old death.
Get to the
Chaos.
outside.
What if you just try to gently encourage them to go to sleep?
Violence.
If they fall asleep and wake up later, is that alright?
Twisting is death and chaos.
It appears the intent might be what's behind it. Keep your intent clean. Do
We're
not try
asking
to
a
kill.
tribal about the tides.
I know. Shh. Quiet. One cutter. Keep yourself and the others safe. Hide.
You are the ones she helped, aren't you?
Crusher points to the game. Do that.
While we're away from the other tent, we're gonna all that gear, the non like we've got a bunch of like bolas and stuff like that. We're gonna stoosh some and distribute some.
Sure.
idea how that
Mongo
picture
folk
works.
hops back.
What are you going to do? You save us?
We're gonna try.
If we leave, we get captured. If we stay, we get captured.
How does this caravan move?
Secrets of the masters.
Can the professor move this place?
Don't know. You
Where
don't.
is the professor?
Is
in the
that pleasure? Tent, nice lady tent It's
Can we have a
old tent.
conversation with him?
with silver and silks. She is gone. She disappeared. Gone.
I'll get quiet. Keep it down.
Where's the professor's little fuckers?
They are probably with him. He does not go far from his pickled bukes.
So if we grab him, drag him outside the portal, cut his head off, no twisting, right?
Don't know.
I'll take that chance.
Twisting is inside of us. Locals. It eventually worms its way into you.
There is. Alkur is going to mention to me. Isn't there a risk that if we take people out of this place, that the twisting will infect Munarak?
Yes, I believe that's the reason why Isolde said that she was here, wasn't it? And I guess they're sacrificing twisted people who have some sort of energy inside them to accelerate the corruption.
Yeah.
So,
I
killing a
believe-
man outside of this place would unleash the twisting outside.
Which they're already doing.
Yes, so what's one more?
What we need to do is knock these
We'll let the
creatures out.
paladin decide that fate.
Oh, yes.
Our course of action here is to not kill but knock out these creatures. Drag them outside and slit their throats.
You're just stating facts, like
This is what we need to
Don't
do.
we need to just find Iameter and get her back in here and kind of
That's our best bet.
detesticify the professor so he stops pooping out. little
Then we need her
professor.
sword.
We don't need her sword right now.
Her
What we
sword.
need to do is depose the leadership that's here now.
His sword is very powerful.
I think she needs her sword.
Why? She's a
Do you
fucking
need-
solar.
Do you need your sword?
I don't have the powers of an angel.
She has different powers now. She's changed.
What do you know about it?
What do you know about it?
More than you do.
Oh,
He's been all up in that. Made it tired and everything.
You fucking turd.
We're not that kind of.
So Shadow just sits down, like paws.
Yep.
It's like fucking.
Krieger, you can see
Or
this
he's
this
sleeping.
white snow tiger just pacing back and forth in its cage.
Well, what if we don't have to kill him?
What do you mean?
I think
He
you
points to the tiger.
Uh-oh. Just a tiger.
I don't know if animals can mean it.
Who cares as long as they get the job done?
Animals. Some animals need to eat violence to live. Not all of them have, twisting. But if they stay here a long time, they become twisted. It's so confusing. It's chaos.
Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. Follow Unky Dwarf.
Which one, dwarf?
Sorry, Unky Knoll. Oscar is gonna go and follow the expert, hide them. He's gonna go hide them, hide them, but hide them in a place where it's not like walk around the corner and you just see them standing there like
before. We'll all hide, and then we'll all be scouts.
I guess we'll check out this tent because there's supposed to be help in there. But
Shadow doing cute dog things when we heard on the inside. Just sit there, big fucking tongue along off to the side, and even
Thinking,
bigger.
I'm gonna kill them.
Max just sitting there too, looking like a giant troll hound. And told me, look, sees Shadow and kind of.
When he does that, it is kind of like Alkur, I guess, scratch the back, like between the ears.
Yep.
His leg is good. His hind leg.
It's sort of hard not to. No, I'm not touching you there.
It was-
He puts on his belly.
All right,
he's
so
so cute.
Oscar,
Oh,
you're gonna give them a high check.
Yes.
Okay, they have plus
3 plus whatever their
8.
their level plus their dex.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna.
Or
23.
if that's better.
All right,
There
so
you
you
go.
stick them on the fringes, and actually you find some scrub on the edges of this place before it becomes misty, and you're like, just stay out of here.
Stay the fuck out of here. Don't fucking. Alright. Hunker down. Let us do our work.
Big shit beast. Kind of look at you. It's sort of waving both of its paddle like hands like into its mouth, like it's hungry. It's waiting.
There's also the other possibility. My guess is none of these other creatures want the twisting either,
No.
which means they can't defend the place.
Not in the traditional sense, although I suspect, based off of the number of charms that we've seen, that an enchanter or an illusionist could be rather effective here. Oscar's gonna chuck some old ration at the Odiug.
Oh, Oscar is? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I buy.
Okay, you made a new friend.
For life! You have Otiug familiar.
Tentacle with a bunch of eyes at
And-
the end of it, kind of blinking at you. It's hopping kind of over as you're walking, and it's waving in its mouth like it wants more. And then with its horrible garbage breath, it's just got its mouth open, kind of going.
You wouldn't happen to eat the bodies, would you?
Okay, you whispered that to it. It starts hopping up and down excitedly.
We're gonna chuck in another piece of rations.
Okay.
Hold that thought. We're gonna have a night at the museum style crazy. We're just gonna unleash the animals. upon them. For chaos, Oscar's hustling back.
Well, what if we just knock them out and this big guy over here starts, you know...
Hey, Ptolemy.
Hmm?
Meet your new Odeon. He's over there.
My own Odiog? Oh, you shouldn't have, Oscar.
My lord!
He does wander up a little bit. He's like looking.
Yeah.
They're not going to let me keep it, are they?
He's gonna help us get out of here. He's gonna help us get through this.
How?
He's gonna hide the evidence. I mean, clean up after us. I mean, eat the bodies.
Oh.
As well as the refuse and,
You mean the living ones, correct?
Well, I'm pretty certain.
Well, it is an aberration. I wonder what the effect of twisting is on aberrations. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. Oscar will wave at it, just like, hey.
Energetic with the eyes on it. Goes
Actually,
back and forth.
Arian silently wonders if Ptolemy would actually mind the twisting that much. Oh, I look beautiful with my fish feet and my fucking.
Alright, so we got a glimmer of an idea, but why don't we? I think there's some in there. We'll go head towards this tent that we were told that there was some resistance in.
Okay.
Yes.
You did catch when you were talking and when you started moving over there. It did look like a woman dressed in black with black wings flew from the top of one tent to another, kind of keeping down low and going around the backside of the tent. You could see maybe a clawed hand still holding on to the center spike coming to the top of the tent.
And as a vampire, she'd be immune because she requires violence to live as well. Or
okay. A couple of the familiars you could see are hissing at you as you come around the corner. You can see the familiar who created the homunculus for you. There's a man. He's like, "Stand back!" and he's got something in his hand that might be like a little speck.
Stand back or you'll die!
hey, pull out, Squish.
Oh yes, Squish. Here we go. Don't have Squish's token. Because I disguise Squish as Squish. It looks like a squirrel head on top of a fish body instead of a fish head on top of a squirrel body.
Just flopping on the
Inverted it.
Trust me, it is really Squish.
Very original.
Oh, we believe you.
The familiar kind of taps this very large man. He's very round, kind of hunchbacked, who then closes his hand ever so carefully, like he's cupping something. You thought there might have been a flea in his hand that he was pointing at you like it was a weapon.
I want to see him use the flea. He's going to summon the rhino.
Oh, that would be an awesome class to be right now, a summoner. One me.
What are you doing here? He recognizes you. He's looking at you, but he understands magic is afoot.
Well, it seems that you're having a bit of a problem.
Come in. He pulls back the flap to the opening of the tent and waves you all in.
Yeah, we're going to look at this.
We go inside.
Inside the tent we go. Best is kind of just narrate what you're doing.
We thought that you were gone.
Only temporarily.
Did you do... And he's looking around. Did the knight do what he had to? Did the time that we gave you work?
It was very helpful. And it's given us a chance, but we're not there yet.
We're still fighting.
That
We need to
damn,
find...
that damnable wizard. He did something to her.
Do you know where she is?
Inside of some strange iron flask.
That sounds familiar.
The wizard took her and her essence out of this place. Her and Hedrak. They have a sword too.
What did the wizard do to her?
I was not there, but there are witnesses. There were witnesses. He simply said her name. It must...
I don't have the knowledges to make that.
Just
try to
describe
identify
what
the
happened.
Her true name. This screams of the work of the Professor, who has always been jealous of Isolde's power. Only someone close to her would have ever been able to discover it.
Alkur, what does
Was there
knowing the
etched on
name
her
do?
sword?
Her sword is gone, yes. Her sword is very important in keeping the twisting at bay. It is her...
Crusher looks at Darian.
It is her spark. She is bonded to it. But it is also the best protection that we have. And it's gone too. You notice one of the familiars kind of says something to him in familiar speak. Yes. Yes, my pets overheard them talking. They said that Isolde would make a special sacrifice. A special offering.
You said she was trapped in an iron bottle?
Iron container, we saw it.
We saw them moving a big iron box and the sword, remember?
A special offering to the demon. Isolde, we suspect, has been battling the twisting for some time. She has taken a lot of it on herself. Oh, you hear that, Darian? She might have tentacles.
Lucky me.
Back to the conversation.
Oscar just has like a kind of a goofy look on his face when I pointed quite kind of not the right direction.
How can we beat the ones that are here, or how can we find her in the temple? Do you know of something she always has on her that we can find, an item?
I can find the box or I can find the soul, and I've seen both of them.
It's unlikely the sword will be next to her. Find her first.
If they need the sword to fight the twisting.
The sword has absorbed much of the twisting. It keeps it at bay. She is connected to the sword.
No doubt if it's absorbed a lot of the twisting, they'll want to destroy it and use it to accelerate whatever the hell they're doing.
Yes, they said something about... They made a joke about how there was a vessel inside the vessel.
What does that mean?
One of the vessels, I assume, was the iron flask that held her.
She's pregnant.
You made her really tired.
Shadow comes out in wolf form. Man, you work really fast and goes back into wolf form. Just, that was worth
Bone popping. Makes a joke like.
That was quick. So what do we do? Find the sword first, then locate her.
She needs the sword to do her work.
Then let's find the sword, Alkur. You do what you need to do to find it.
We know it's not in here. I need to be on the correct plane.
We saw it. So I don't know if you were here or not, but we saw the box and the sword being carried into the temple.
Right. We're not in the right plane.
He's saying
Yeah,
we have to leave this plane to go do
Oh,
it.
okay,
That's all he's
sorry.
saying.
I didn't understand.
Please, can you help us? They are forcing us to do violence.
How can you do violence without twisting here?
What are the limitations of the twisting?
The twisting, it comes from the death of a god of murder. If you truly mean to kill, be it in a crime of passion, or even to defend oneself, that sort of violence brings on the twisting quicker. Of course, some are more... Some can adapt to it, while others are extremely and madly affected by it. We have had abominations before, those that completely give in. I think they took some of the abominations.
It's unfortunate.
For us to kill the abominations may very well allow the powers of such abominations to go free. Yes. Yes. Hey, a little familiar talking about it.
Should we deal with the dragon and the professor before we leave?
How do we deal with them?
Not kill them.
The dragon is potent, but it is the man... It is the tiger that wears man's flesh that is also...
The Rakshasa.
Yes, yes.
Where is it?
They are in the tent.
Best thing to kill a cat is to find a dog. He looks over at shadows.
Perhaps one of you would be brave enough to kill them.
But the goal is not, the intent is not to kill, but to knock them out.
Then they kill him.
He kind of like... You are not going to outsmart this force of death.
And remove them from here.
You're right. That professor. Don't know about the other two, but that professor certainly owes one.
We could deal with him first. Should be quick.
A god of murder died, and his essence remained. It is the twisting. It is... and always has been here. Sure, you can be happy, live a true life, but someone eventually will have murder in their hearts. Someone eventually will seek the death of another. We're all doomed. Yeah. To leave is to be hunted down by them. To stay is to be forced to fight. Soon they'll come across one whose heart is black enough that the chaos will simply take, and then the abomination will hunt us all down and we'll die.
Alright, stop being melodramatic.
Hopefully that's a familiar saying. Quit being a bitch. You're making yourself look bad.
Alright, so. Are you leaving? Or are you fighting? If these are the decisions.
I have kept watch. Hope that heroes would come. Or that Isolde will return to us. Free her. She'll know what to do.
I think that is probably the best option.
Right, I agree.
The thin Jorats are an extension of her will. They disappeared when she was taken.
So we need to bring her will back to re-summon the Jarats that keep order.
Unless one of you would sacrifice your physical form to do battle with our enemies, to risk the twisting.
The enemies here will take all of us.
Perhaps she could take some of the twisting from you after you're done.
We will go and find her. We will do this with full haste. Come on, Shadow, come on.
His thought was...
You like mixing with her. Why don't you take one for the team?
No comment.
Some of the curses are not so curse-like, and benefits. I can talk to any familiar. I was lucky. Although it is said that some of my personality is that of the small creature or thing.
Alright. Now, time for a big personality. Are you fighting or are you leaving? Sitting around and lamenting is not an option.
My creatures and I have kept watch. Have I not told you things that can help?
You can. You have. Which means it sounds like you're fighting.
No.
You're very brave of you.
I will help. But I cannot fight. We are too small.
Not everyone fights with a sword. Keep giving us information. We will tell you who to keep track of.
Where people are, their numbers, most important in combat.
Yes, my minions and I will continue to do our work.
Hide.
Do the Rakshasa, the Professor, or the Dragon have a familiar? What of my apprentice?
The dragon, no. Although we're not certain if it's actually there. It might be a master of illusions. The Rakshasa seems to take the form of a prideful man.
Yabo.
He has white hair, dark armor. He is hard to miss.
Where is he? Is he here?
Yes.
What of the others? So he does not have a familiar, I'm assuming.
No.
Don't be afraid. I'll protect familiar. Me and my fleas aren't afraid of the twisting.
What of the fortune teller or the other casters here?
There are some Skura that have eluded capture so far in the bazaar. They might be protecting Madame Fortuna. The 3 other fortune tellers are also not accounted for.
Can you have one of your familiars check?
We can do one better. The 3 women have familiars of their own. He closes his eyes.
Tell them what for. There we go. Use goddamn powers.
The 3 women. They are still alive.
Good news.
Leer, pry, and scream. They do have Madame Fortuna with her. However, I do not think they're treating her well.
Do they mean ill?
She is tied to a divination wheel and is slowly being pecked.
Where is this wheel?
It looks like it is in Madame Fortuna's tent.
Where is that?
There's something there. Something that that the animals do not like. A powerful presence.
Do you know of anyone who had 6th circle spells in scroll form?
I believe the squid woman is with them.
She was from the
Oh yes,
sad show.
she was most beautiful, but a terrible mind. A terrible mind. She is wrong. On the inside.
Well then, we require a scroll or source of stone to flesh. You had multiple monsters here that could produce that effect. You should have a protection or
Some way to
source
reverse
of
it.
this spell.
I am a familiar, not a wizard.
Right, where if someone were accidentally turned to stone, who would be called to reverse it?
Professor Pacali is our wizard.
Do you not have a priest of sufficient capability?
Priests are not common here.
So just because it's fucked up, wizards can't cast stone to flesh. They I think they can flesh the stone.
What?
But they know it's not wizard anymore. It's so a wizard can make you stone, but a wizard can't unmake you stone.
That's stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb right there. No.
Arcane Primal versus Divine Primal.
Isolde had the power to break enchantments. She was very powerful. Pacali is our wizard. There are some, however, I believe they have been taken. The Fire Eaters, they had some primal magic. Perhaps the old seer, but it is not something that she did. I'm sorry, I cannot be more of a help.
No, you're very helpful. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Keep your focus.
What do you plan on doing? Says Hap the Flea Man.
Well, right now it is find this diviner. We could use some inspiration. And then it's gonna be figuring out who in this place is getting slapped and who in this place is getting stabbed.
So the three women diviners, Scream, Lear, and Pry.
They're probably getting a slapping. Squid Lady might be getting a stabbing.
But only if absolutely necessary.
Right. And just like a gentle stabbing, not a murderous intent stabbing. Problem solved.
But it was a love stab, Marty. It was a love stab. I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you. Well, when did Ptolemy put up his veil spell? I think when you went originally to raid the temple, right?
I thought he put up the second one.
Let me check this.
Did he kick 2? I think he cast 2.
In my opinion,
was
we
when
were
we
able
get
to
in-
dispatch the 3 lady. Oh, sorry.
Because we had a different veil. I think it was when we left the downstairs after the big battle.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong. It depends. Like how.
No,
does he have
you
to
know,
work?
he cast fly on Max so that he could get down.
Yep.
Then he would have had to cast fly again on Max to get him up. And then he's got 1 veil, so you know he's got 1 4th circle spell left today. It is almost time for our second veil.
So what do we do?
I can
Rescue
only-
the seer, then get the angel?
I can only cast veil 1 more time. He says it'll only last an hour.
Then we rescue the seer, then go for the angel? What say you all?
We don't know where the angel is. It's not your specialty spell.
Nope.
The angel's in the temple.
But where?
Well,
Huh. Shadowton.
Do you have something of hers?
I can locate the box that she was in, or I could locate her sword.
It was an iron flask.
Give me something that I could smell.
The iron flask I did not see.
then the sword.
All right. So I suggest we use the veil. Well, I suggest that we,
Hey, Drixter, what's going on?
if they are picking away at the diviner, I believe the diviner is of something of an urgent nature for us.
We
She will
should rescue
provide
her.
more. She will provide more insight.
Rescue her, then go for the angel.
Great. How do we rescue her?
Subdue
Slapping.
the 4.
Just
Subdue
a
the 4.
firm slapping.
Subdue the 4. Keep them from dying.
Doesn't matter.
They will
I don't think
cause-
you're gonna fool it, Crusher.
I did reuse Skull V by accident. Or did I?
Might have. I think you did.
The max token?
The max token
Max?
is Skull V. Skull V was
What, like-
female. This one's male, so it's accident.
Well,
It
well
is
you've used the albino torturer twice.
Have I?
The tokens, yes. Okay. There are multiple tokens that have been used more than once.
This one was by accident. Yeah. It's definitely.
I'm not
a male.
complaining because that's an awesome token.
I basically searched Black Wolf on the internet, and then like my brain picked the same one. So yeah,
because it was the cool looking
yeah, it was
one.
the cool looking one.
All right.
That one was not that is not a thing.
I suppose we have to get to the other side. How long until your spell runs out? Tell me.
Soon, minutes.
Then we need to cast it here.
Why?
Do we want to look like twisted?
No, because the Twisted would have to be prisoners. We need someone to take us.
Oh.
Continue being gnolls.
Well, I'm going to look twisted.
That'll make it less useful when we leave.
All right. I will look like bugbears, gnolls.
Look like a gnoll.
Gnolls are safe as gotten us around without any problems.
Same gnolls again. I'll leave it to the squire to pick the boring thing.
Yes, boring by not getting us caught and saving us a fight.
Fine. Line up and I'll get all your disguises the exact same. You cast this spell.
Thank you, my lord. That is most generous of you.
We have an hour. Start the timer.
I have.
Start the hourglass.
Counting.
Yeah.
It's a mental timer. I think the idea of a timer. I don't think it was like a person who kept track of time.
Start counting.
1, 2.
One Mississippi. 2 Mississippi.
Mippipippy.
Alright.
Mississippi.
Move.
We're gonna head across. Now, remember, before we go, we're going to go get the Odia and put it in one of the cages, right?
Why?
It's good to know you.
Because it's part of the plan.
It's part of the plan.
I don't remember that being part of the plan.
Temple Odia. We killed the last one, remember?
Yeah, and that was probably a good thing.
Well, then we can get it out of here. We'll save an innocent.
No.
Ugh.
We need to hurry.
Boring disguises. Can't keep an Odiug.
Okay, we're gonna...
Who's the lord again?
You are the Lord.
I know, but
Are we in your realm, Lord?
it's actually more like yours.
That's right.
All this chaos and craziness with the Uki saliva of a death god.
Bumping uglies.
My lord. Best you stop talking now.
So I've been slowly stepping us across the field. I don't know if anybody's like trying to stop us.
Nope. You might have heard a little bit of a ruckus in this tent.
Okay, Oscar will peel off to go investigate.
All right. You can see a passed out man with this weird wound. It's kind of like somebody took out a huge chunk of his neck, but he's not bleeding all over the place. The wound is purpley and there are veins exposed, and you could see like his throat.
That's pretty gross.
Bottom part of his jaw. There is the halfling-sized man with no arms and legs, although he does have hundreds of little caterpillar legs going from chin to back end. And it looks like he's trying to apply some poultice or something like that to the downed man.
What the fuck happened to him?
Hello?
He scuttles underneath the bed.
Is that guy bleeding out?
Nope.
I like him.
You hear your voice in your head.
Which one? He's saying out loud because he just spent his whole talking head thing down yet.
Maybe one day I'll start to poke out my eyes and peek.
What?
You poke your eye out, and I'll poke your eye out. You get me? Oh, we can see all sorts of what we can get twisted. Oscar acting like a crazy person at the entrance to the
No, we're probably gonna play until I don't know 11 PST. What time are we playing tonight?
That's what I guessed.
11?
I'm good
Okay.
till like whenever.
I'm good till whenever.
5 a.m. I can do it again.
I'm probably not until 5 a.m. But 2, 3. That's
Given that I had a handful of Swedish fish for dinner, at some point I'm gonna have to order food. It will have to come, and I will quickly eat it because
you have to consume calories.
I have to
'Cause
consume
Swedish
calories.
fish
Yes,
and
exactly.
caffeine are not
Yeah,
quite
exactly.
nourishment.
I can go get some more caffeine in a second, but it's like 3 feet that way.
Too far.
I know. Hashtag first world problems.
Agent!
Alright, so, hey, caterpillar guy.
Yeah, you're going to take him away. There's nothing I can do to stop you.
Nope. You would happen to know where we could find a scroll for, stoned flesh?
Many of the magical treasures have been taken by Pacali.
Yeah.
He is lord of this place now. He is lord of this madhouse.
And, let's say I wanted to kind of fuck Pacali. And not in, like, the sort of the religious sense, but I mean kind of in the personal sense. How would one do that? He's got them little, pickle people. And everything else he's got that is precious to him.
He is a wizard.
Where does he keep his book?
Probably close by. He's got a single tome that holds many, many pages.
Where was his old tent?
His old tent. There's the green one just south of the sideshow. Across the way. He moved all of his stuff to his old tent, however. He's always been jealous of how we pampered her.
Oscar's gonna poke his head out. He's gonna whistle at Shadow. He's gonna point at the green tent. Go smell that one.
Which green tent?
That one.
Oh, sure.
The wagon? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I want to know what he smelled. I wanted us to know how he smelled.
Okay, well,
That
Shadow,
was a little loud.
yeah, you hop up into the wagon. It looks abandoned. There's definitely a horrible pickle juice smell in here, and a bunch of smashed jars.
Okay, there's a bed.
There is a bed. The place is
Pillow?
overwhelmingly smelling like alchemical pickle juice, though.
Pillow. Grab the pillow.
Okay,
Cut
the-
it and smell in that.
The room that
Gotcha.
you're smelling it overwhelmingly smells like pickle juice. Like these things have been smashed all over the place.
Let's get out of here. Nothing to smell here. Outside. Who was leaving here?
Okay, well you can smell something covered in pickle juice around
It's
the
pickle juice. All right.
around the
Shadow goes.
Oscar waves, not knowing that Shadow smells like
Got
pickles.
nothing going on for him. Good job.
Pickles, got him.
Pickles.
Okay,
What happened to-
you no
what happened
longer
to
smell
Nick?
the pickle juice in the vicinity of where you moved to.
So Oscar like, what?
What happened to this guy's neck? Asking the caterpillar guy.
Pacali thought the imp reminded him of his own pickled creations. He has captured some of the little ones and put them in jars. The imp. This is Cloud Rivale. His imp lives here.
Big hole.
Yeah, the big hole.
Alright. Keep your head down. Admin is probably pretty easy to do.
Fucking asshole.
Okay.
Pickles.
No, I don't need to smell the experiments. I can smell him.
Just pickles, nothing else. It's pickle juice. That's all I can smell in there.
Then
You
that's
smell
probably.
the pickle jar.
It smells like fucking pickle juice.
You ain't got time to fuck around.
Hey, get the fuck out of here! You don't want it here!
You see a bunch of the Skura wander around the corner. They've got clubs, saps, slings.
Get the fuck out of here!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh.
All right. Listen.
You 10.
I want to deal with any shit right now. Go back to where the hell you were, and we'll leave you alone.
It's not time for your offerings. We just gave you offerings. Fuck off.
We're not here for offerings. You fuck off.
Paladin diplomacy.
The Max doing.
Okay, Max is aiding Darian's intimidate.
Does Max have to do the same thing that we do? Because he's a dog growling. That's pretty fucking intimidating. Is he like a 120 plus 0? Like a d20 plus 0 kind of thing?
I'll give him some size bonus.
Size and fang bonus.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll just reduce the DC. Just roll.
Okay.
Roll a die.
Roll to see if you're assisting.
15, so the DC for Max
15?
is 9. So he aids.
All right. So
+2 for size is not critically aid.
natural 20.
Boy.
All right. You don't want to get twisted. We don't want to get twisted. Nobody wants to get their underpants twisted in a bunch.
Yeah, pretty much.
They all back off.
And we continue with our day. We walk right through them.
I never knew that being grumpy was like a spell. It's like you're special. Extra grumpy.
I'm not grumpy.
Crusher goes to Oscar. He had all the friends back in the temple. Our temple, not Ptolemy's.
Okay, you can hear some like drumming. It's not like big bongo or war drums. It's more like I forget what you call them. They're like this. They're like little hand drums with little ties of leather with beads, and you kind of spin them. And, yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear some drumming. It's at a pretty high pace, and you can hear some women chanting.
Beaver! Yiga! Haga! No!
Well, maybe you should be grumpy at them.
Definitely.
Knowledge, what are they doing?
Okay, you're gonna stand around and listen.
Well, we are going, but we are moving towards them. So
Indeed.
Okay, so Alkur is gonna linger back a little bit while he's listening to figure out what they're doing. Okay, give me a knowledge occult. Ptolemy's lingering back at the back with you.
Max is told to protect
31.
them.
They are invoking to try to communicate. It's like they're doing some sort of ritualistic. It's not a summoning. It's more like a ritualistic calling or communication. They're trying to make contact to something. And let me get you what they're actually saying.
This could be them trying to be good or them trying to be real bad.
Exactly. I don't know.
And I have lyrics to this somewhere. Give me a second.
Come on, everybody, go! Yeah, that's it. A strong man singing Kumbaya. Great. That's what I go to sleep to. Fantastic.
Someone's lifting
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Why are your fingers so strong?
Head in your face. Oh.
There we go. It's called Baba Higa, Baba Biga Higa.
We don't like anything that starts with Baba. This is coveted bullshit.
Yeah, but is it a really bad thing right now?
You know what? This situation is fucked up enough where if we could just call it Baba Yaga, just like phone a friend.
Oh no, friend.
Here's your call. Would you like to make a? Would you like to call a friend?
Baba Biga Higa Laga Boga Sega Zai Zoi Bele Hama Tiro Pun.
If you'd like to read more lyrics, you can hear and actually listen to the song if you wanted.